And welcome back to Urban Outlook. We're talking about a program called The Next Door, which is a rehabilitation services program for women who are finding themselves struggling with substance abuse. Patience Ruffin is the Director of Clinical Service, and Sierra Collier is Clinical Systems there at The Next Door. And before we left, we talked about how you take that first major big step. And it can be a tough step to take. So the fear has got to be there. And one of the things that I read about as I was sort of trying to figure out the differences between addiction between men and women. One of the things that I read in an article was that women sometimes don't come forward because of that fear of losing their children if they have children, that fear of what people will think about them if they admit that they've got an issue. So talk through some of those fears and myths of addiction that maybe can help women take that major step if they need to.
So as we were saying earlier, the role of a woman.
Yeah.
And so family is a huge component with that. Their children, they mean everything to them, but they're tackling this disease of addiction. And what happens is there's this fear that if I admit to someone I have a problem, someone's going to come take my children from me.
Yeah.
Or if I go into treatment services and get help, who's going to watch my children for me?
Yeah.
Where are they going to go?
Yeah.
When I go, am I being selfish if I go take this time for myself and leave them in the care of someone else? Huge factor. We run into that quite often, and that builds up not only fear, but sometimes that resistance to come in the door. And so really what we work hard to do, and I think Sierra hit this really well, is give them the opportunity to see what could your family dynamic look like with you sober. With you walking in recovery. What does that look like? And so we work really hard to not only work with the woman, but we incorporate family services as well. So we provide opportunities to do education to families to understand the cycle of addiction and to understand their own recovery process, because addiction is a family disease. It impacts everyone. And so we also provide services for the children. We come in and we help them understand how to have those difficult conversations with their kids about their drug use. And so we really try to hit every factor, because we understand that that is a really huge step to make for a woman to come in, to leave their children in the care of somebody else. But we're trying to let them know that if you continue to let the disease spiral out of control, it will be somebody coming to take your kids from you.
Yeah, and that to me would be the ultimate reason why it would be a tough move to make. But you have a way of making sure that that relationship with children stays intact when that woman goes for help, and they can feel confident that somebody won't come along and say that they're unable to care for their kids while they're going through this.
Well, I think the major thing for us is we care for that woman, but we also care for the safety of that child. So we are always going to assess the situation to make sure that the child is in a safe environment and safe care. And that's really important to us as well, because addiction is chaotic and it's messy. And so the woman doesn't want to put their children in a dangerous situation, but those things do happen. And so we're always going to assess the situation to make sure that that child is safe. But once we assess that, and if that is an accurate thing, we definitely are always working to make sure that that relationship stays intact, that those conversations can be had, and that that child is placed in a safe situation, be it with a family member, a friend, someone who can care for that child while the woman is getting the help that she needs.
You have spaces for 87 women, I think you said.
We have 82 beds.
Women. Is it enough? Because I think about all the attention that you often sometimes see. I think you talked about it earlier too, that more people are aware. Younger women are coming because they're aware. You see programs like Intervention, for instance. There was a major two-part interview on the network news the other night with the main key anchor who talked about her struggles with alcoholism through the years, right? So you see these very prominent people in these very prominent programs talking about these issues, and it does maybe make you want to take that leap to get some help. But do you have enough space, and are there enough programs to provide those services and resources?
That is a good question. I think it's never enough, because there's so many people that are out there that are not seeking the services. So if all were to seek the services, it would not be enough.
You wouldn't have any room.
We wouldn't have any room. We have 82 beds in our facility for residential that will be combined with medical detox in our residential stay. But we also have seats in our outpatient program where women can still live at home and come in for treatment. So sometimes that's a better option and a better fit assessment-wise for that person. But I would say it's not enough. We need more, and we also need more people to seek the services that we provide.
And are you seeing sort of a balance of numbers? Obviously, our show, while everyone watches it, we pay particular attention to African American issues. But are you seeing minority women coming to seek those services or not?
We do have minority women seeking services. We would like to see more. You know, we do serve predominantly Caucasian women, but we can serve anybody at any race. And so we, a part of us coming onto this program, we want to just put our agency out there in the forefront to let you know that we are here, we have the services, and we would like for people to seek our services.
I think I know the answer to this is probably a case-by-case basis, but how long does the process take to go through the recovery, to go through getting back to where you were prior to the substance abuse?
Right.
Well, the national number is it takes 5 attempts of treatment before a person is able to regain some long-term recovery. So it takes some time. It takes really the practice of utilizing those coping skills. Hope, I think Sierra talked about that a lot earlier. Those kind of things are very important. So it takes a few times, but the willingness to keep going at it is what's important.
That's key.
Yes.
And having the support around you, I would think, as well, would be key to helping you continue through the program.
And it's a lifetime process, so you really have to be in it for your lifetime. If you want to change your life, it's something you're going to do forever. So we know that it starts here with us, with the treatment, but we're teaching them how can they do this for the rest of their life.
Do you ever have women who have gone through the program that then end up being mentors to other women who are going through the struggle? Because who knows best what it's like than the folk that have walked through the shoes, you know, in the same shoes. Is that an opportunity for women who have been successful in getting back on their feet?
Yeah, we love that. We always have our women that come back to our program and they speak to our women, they talk to them, they participate in our aftercare services and really reach back out to help someone else because they understand, they can look at the woman and say, I was you. I get that. I know that fear. I know that doubt that you're feeling, but there is hope. There is hope and you can do this. And so we encourage that. We just had 2 people come back and visit us the other day, and it was just so nice with their little kids, and it was just so nice to see them. And just being there, they were able to encourage some of our clients that were there. So they definitely reach back, which is a beautiful thing to witness.
It is.
I think one of the other things that I guess is a need is funding. I don't know how the Next Door does what it does, but do you rely on sponsors, corporate donations, that kind of thing to come in to help you with your services?
We do. We rely on donations. Different people in the community donate to our agency. We have a pretty huge volunteer base, pretty huge sponsorship in Nashville. Our program is not funded by one particular funding source. So multiple
do the women
funding.
have to pay for their services?
So our women, we accept insurance. We accept commercial insurance as well as teen care.
Gotcha.
And so they don't have to pay. We also have some grant funds or some scholarship bids for women who don't have insurance.
Is it based on that woman's income, for instance, a sliding scale, or not even at all?
We do a sliding scale if the person is a self-pay person. It really just depends on their situation when they call in.
That's even better because that just tells you there are no barriers to getting the help that you need. No
We've tried to
financial
eliminate the
barriers
barriers on the front end.
So where do people start? Do they give you a call? How does this all work?
Right, they give us a call. We have a Hope line. It's 1-855-TND-HOPE, and you can call that number, and one of our admissions specialists will pick up the phone, and that's how the process starts.
And one of the things we didn't talk about, but it made me think about it when you said hope, this is also a faith-based program, correct? So you try to cleanse not just the person, but their spirit as well. Talk a little bit about that.
I think the thing that we really work hard on is understanding that as human beings, we're complex, and that we are not just healing the substance use, because that's just one part of it, right? It's a spiritual, emotional, and mental thing. And so while we are not like, you have to be of a particular faith or a particular religion to be in our particular program, we understand that that is a component to recovery. And so we give the opportunity for you to come in and express that and talk about that, because sometimes that's a wounded part of a woman. And so we're like, how can we help you regain that connection to whatever your higher power is, whatever that faith is for you, to help you with your recovery journey. So that is a beautiful piece that we feel that makes us a little different in the community.
When people seek your help, and you gave us a great example of a couple of success stories, what does success look like for you? Is it not seeing that beautiful face again? Although you love to see and get a reported update, right? But what does success look like for the next door?
I think success varies, right? I think we really look for some form of developed coping skills, right? So today I was able to wake up and I didn't use a substance. That's huge. One day I was able to do that, and that's progress for us. The ability to reconnect families, that's success. You know, a mother back with her family, her child back with her in her home, working substance-free, but connected to sober networks in the community like AA and NA, and having a sponsor, things like that. Being able to, we love to see your face again. Maybe not in our program, but you know, being alumni and coming back and giving back to those who are in need. I think that is success for us. But most times we're looking at the client, we're asking, what is success for you? And then let us help you reach that goal. We let them, I tell them all the time, I'm in the passenger seat, you're driving the car. So what's the destination? Where are we going? And really help them get there.
Well, I definitely love the focus on women for sure, because we are trying to do it all, and sometimes we need a little help to get there. We've got some contact information again if you're interested in the Next Door. There it is, thenextdoor.org on your screen, and then 855-TND HOPE. That's TND HOPE. So you can give a call or go online and check out all those programs that you all have to offer. Thank you so much for being here and for sharing your story. Appreciate that. And thank you so much for joining us. We will see you again next time.